Welcome to Community Connections with Children's Services Council of St. Lucie County in 2019.
Woo.
I'm your host, one of your hosts, Sean Boyle, with me is
Ashley Mott.
And welcome to what is a weekly radio program thanks to our partner on 104.5 The Flame, and also thanks to our partnership with the St. Lucie County Public Schools and WLX TV. We are also a monthly television show.
Woo.
So we are not
exciting.
professional radio show hosts, but we play two on TV. That's what I'm trying to say.
I like it.
Right?
That's a very good point.
Well, welcome to the show that's all about connecting you, the listener, and the viewer to what resources and ways there are to get involved regarding children and families in St. Lucie County. Now, we at the Children's Services Council, again, not professionals at this hosting thing, but what we are good at is doing five things in our community. And those 5 things are: 1, making sure every baby's a healthy baby; 2, stopping child abuse before it happens; 3, keeping kids off the street, keeping them in school, and keeping them off drugs, alcohol, and other risky behaviors by offering programs and resources for all families in our community.
I have to count with you to make sure that you get them all.
I know, they moved the camera a little bit, so I couldn't quite see you in my peripheral vision.
Oh,
So it worked out.
I was hiding. So Sean talked about those 5 areas that we work doing in the community, but there are a multitude of programs that are actually the ones out there doing that work. And we've got a couple different ways where you can learn more about those programs. One of them obviously is on this wonderful TV and radio show, because we bring them on as our guests.
Tune in every week on 104.5 The Flame, and of course watch us monthly.
Yes, but we also have an extensive list of those programs on our website, which is cscslc.org.
Rolls right off the tongue.
Right? Yeah, super easy. And we have a printed guide of those. I should have given you the new one to show today. It would have been so fancy.
I didn't know we had a new
Well,
one yet.
they're not printed, but I have them in my office. But we do have an updated version of our printed family guide. If you have a business or a church that you would like to have some copies of the printed version, we can certainly bring these to you. It, again, is just a brief description of all of the programs along with their contact information, so it's a really great resource to have on hand.
So you mentioned the website,
I
which,
did.
you know, a lot of people, and we find, are going to our website on their phone.
Correct.
But if you don't want to do that, we actually have an app.
We do. There's an app for that. Our app is super user-friendly, very easy to navigate, and again, what we have found is that what people are finding, well, the information that people are looking for the most is the contact information for those programs. And from the app, you can actually do one-touch calling, one-touch mapping to show you where all of those programs are throughout the community.
And because it's 2019, easy
how
for
many
me
times,
to say, right?
How many times have you written that incorrectly?
Many a time. And I've totally played up that dad joke, like, see you next year. It's been a year since I've seen you. I've totally played that dad joke up.
I like it.
But because it's 2019, we have some new things that are coming out this year. Do you want to, like, I know we can't give it all away, but do you want to tease the audience a little bit?
Well, we can do that. So it is a new year, and it's been a while since we've made
That's fair to say.
a refresh, an update. So we've got a couple new things that are coming out in the next couple of weeks, actually, including a new look and a new website. Just very exciting.
She's talking about the brand CSC. We're
Yes.
not getting haircuts. That's what she's talking about.
A new look for our logo, our CSC brand, and our new website that we're really excited about. There are some really cool features that we'll be able to offer to the community that we've never had before, that are going to be really great, really awesome.
So that's coming up probably within the next month or so.
Within the
We'll
next
start
month,
rolling
yeah.
all that out. So that's a little teaser to continue to watch the show and listen to the radio program.
Yes.
And did I mention the TV show is also on YouTube? That's for the younger folks that are watching the program or listening. Go to YouTube, look up WLX TV, St. Lucie. You'll find our show. But I also want to mention, while 2019, you talked about the new stuff, there's something that we do every beginning
Yes.
of every year, which is going to sound strange because it is January, but we are already thinking about summer.
Yes.
Summer is approximately 5 months away. Can you believe that? So if you don't know what your child is going to be doing while you are working and they are not in school, we are working on that.
Yeah.
So all of our after-school programs become summer programs during the summer. So 16 programs in, I believe, 18 or so locations. But we are also going to expand that offering. So if any of our viewers or listeners run an after-school program or a summer program and want to apply, we have funding available through a grant application on our website Again, cscslc.org to apply for summer funding. And we don't even call it summer activities, we call it summer learning.
Right.
So if you're serving children elementary age, we ask obviously that it be fun for the kids because we want them to attend. It's not summer school,
right.
But there has to be a literacy component in it. And if you're working with older kids, we ask that there's a vocational component in it, vocational exploration. But all that information is available on our website with a February 8th deadline date. February 1st deadline date. Are you sure? Mm-hmm. Pretty sure it's February 8th.
Nope.
It's in February. Get on it right away.
You could visit the website and find out the answer to that question. But I'm glad that you brought that up. And as soon as we have that list compiled of the summer programs, our existing programs and the new ones that we're expanding, we'll have all of that information available on our website as well. We know that, especially during the summer, our website is a place that parents visit to find out what's available, where they can put their kids. It's not too early to start thinking about that. I know, like you said, it sounds a little crazy, but most of our summer programs fill up very quickly.
Before school gets out.
Yes, so it's definitely something to pay attention to, and when that information is released, I would encourage all of you to identify what your priorities are and find those placements right away.
So before we get to our guests, I have to ask, because our radio show listeners know that this is your first show in 2019.
Okay.
Because we teased you on the radio show that you didn't make it last week.
You did.
But for our viewers, New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about that before the year wrapped up, and I think I told you I don't really like resolutions because I feel like I don't know, it's like too much.
It's like a diet.
It's like a commitment. Yeah. It's like a lot. So this year, I know some of you are probably familiar with this one word 365 challenge. So this year I chose a word. So it's more like not a resolution, but a word that I'm trying to focus everything around. And I feel like I'm the kind of person that has 1,965 things happening at any given time.
That's true.
There's a lot of people in my house to manage, and I feel like...
You work with me.
I wasn't going to bring that up. But I feel like the word that I chose for 2019 is steady, because I feel like we're always rushing, and trying to get to whatever the end is. And this year, I just needed to take a step back and make sure that we were moving in the right direction at the same time, and it didn't matter if it was slow or fast. It just needed to be steady.
I like that.
So that's my resolution, is to focus everything around steady.
How are you feeling right now? Pretty steady?
Pretty good.
All right. You want to introduce our guest?
I would love to. So January is an exciting time. I think it's, people are making their resolutions, deciding what they're going to focus on for the year. But it's also a time that we get to celebrate National Mentoring Month. And we have several programs throughout our community that have a focus on mentoring, but none of them that do it as consistently as our guests today, Big Brothers Big Sisters. So we have two rather new faces at Big Brothers Big Sisters with us today. Stacy Watson-Mesley is the new CEO.
Yes, ma'am.
Very new.
Very new.
Very new. And Taylor Farnsworth is the Director of Development. So we know this is the first time you guys have joined us on the show, so thank you for that.
Yes, thank you for having us.
But we do always dedicate some time in January to talk with Big Brothers Big Sisters about mentoring and about what we do here in our community and how people can get involved. And really, anybody who's familiar with our show will know that we don't like to, it's not a passive show.
I think what we're really setting everybody up for is we're going to set a new resolution for you today.
If you did not already make a resolution.
I'm just going to jump to the end, but we're going to...
We have a plan.
We're going to ask you to sign up to be a mentor, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
That's your New Year's resolution.
That's at the end of the show. So I think probably a lot of our listeners or viewers are familiar with Big Brothers Big Sisters generally, but maybe not specifically what you guys tackle in the community. So give us kind of an overview about the programs and how they work. Just like a quick and dirty, if you will.
Sure. So I'll go off of that. So we have a couple different programs that people can get involved with. We have our community-based program, which is a big and a little, and that big spends 4 hours a month with that little. And this is anything they can do in the community. We've had one of our bigs help them assemble their own bike and reconstruct their bike. As to going to the Nutcracker, going to the movies, just kind of community, new experiences for them that they may have not done before.
And I think that's the program that probably people are most familiar with.
Sure.
The big little
Yeah.
sort of traditional mentoring that we hear about out in the community. That's the one everybody recognizes.
Yes. And with community-based, we focus on ages 5 to 17. So that is one of our older ages that we're reaching there as well. We also have a school-based program, which is 1 hour a week in the schools. With our children, helping with literary, emotional, social skills, as well as, like I said, new experiences with the children as well. So we do have an opportunity for our mentors to go enhanced, which is a site and community-based program, so they can do both within their month and their hours. So we also have our BBBS Reads program, which is focusing on literary skills. Yes, as I'm having trouble saying that. So we have 20 to 25 hours a week. Our members are in the schools working with children on reading, as well as some math skills. So that's another awesome program that people can get involved with as well.
And I like, first of all, I have a bond with you, right? I can't say the word community. Right? So knowing that you can't say the word, starting with the word, I was like, I have a bond with her. But I like what you just said, because as little as 4 hours a month to 20 hours. So there's really a full spectrum on level of commitment. But I just want to emphasize, first of all, kudos on whoever put the bike together and took it apart together in less than 4 hours. That's impressive. But if you think about 4 hours a month, that's 1 hour. 1 hour a week.
Yes.
I mean, think about what you do during your week.
Right.
Football season's getting ready to end. I'm
Right.
saying, throw up for the guys out there. 1 hour a week.
Frees up at least 8 hours.
And it's simple stuff. It can just be going to the movies or going to a park or hanging out and figuring out how to put together a bicycle.
Yeah, we just had a couple people go to see the Nutcracker, so just lots of fun things like that. They went to the Melbourne Zoo as well. So those are just fun activities that these kids may have not experienced before that they get the opportunity to do.
And we have, I know we're going to talk about, kind of the nuts and bolts of it, but can you talk to us about like the need? Because I know from out in the community, we have a lot of single parents, and I know we have, what I've always understood is we have a lot of female mentors, but we don't have a lot of males, and I'm throwing myself under the bus here. We don't have a lot of males, but can you kind of maybe speak to the need of Big Brothers?
Certainly. Well, what we really want to do is reach also into a demographic of males that is between the 30 and 50-year-old age. So what we see is we have so many exceptional people in this community that step up and work with our young people. And one of the quips that I heard recently was one of our bigs said, "I've done things I haven't done in 30 years," because he was teaching his little how to play Little League. And so this young man is now starting Little League and had never had the opportunity to do that. So what we know is that we have a lot of retired teachers in our community. We have a lot of people in our community that understand sports and the outdoors and fishing. And so what we'd like to do is draw in some of those male mentors to support our young men and really dig into all of the wonderful opportunities that Florida has to offer.
That's so true, and when you were saying 30 to 50, which is my demographic, still, barely, but still, and you said like they feel alive again or young.
Yes.
And what a great way to kind of like, for lack of a better word, stay young and active by working hands-on with the child.
Well, not only that, but I feel like, a lot of times we hear people complain that kids are only playing tablets or they're so addicted to video games, but if they don't have the opportunities for someone to take them out and do those things with them, teach them how to fish, teach them how to play golf, teach them how to do whatever, if that opportunity is not open to them, then they're never going to learn how to do those things.
Exactly. And it gives us an opportunity to highlight all of the different cultural activities that exist in this whole area. I mean, we're covering St. Lucie, Indian River, and Okeechobee counties. So there's such a vast range of experiences that our young people can have. And so offering some support to the parents and the schools by being a mentor 1 hour a week, if you go that route, then that's a lot to give our children for very little time.
And we haven't talked about this in a while, but probably 4 or 5 years ago, there was a gang study done in our community, and they interviewed current gang members, and they talked to them about what would it have taken for you not to be involved in a gang, and it was all young men, and the number one answer was an adult male role model,
Yes.
which is really exactly what we're talking about here today. So again, New Year's resolution for the male viewers: become a big brother.
No pressure. But maybe a little bit of pressure. But I'm glad that you brought that up, because I think nationally there's a lot of people who our kids look up to, whether it's athletes or movie stars or whoever it is. But locally, we have a lot of people who excel in all of the same places that really do have at least 1 hour a week to offer, and that's all it takes.
Yeah.
And one of the beautiful things about Big Brothers Big Sisters is that it's crafted in a way that supports the mentor. So it's not like, okay, here's your match and go out into the world. Instead, it's really crafted to create a support system for the mentor as well, so that you're learning together. And so we have match support specialists that walk the entire way with you. We have a whole team of professionals that are dedicated to making sure that that match is successful, and that when issues may come up along the way, I mean, we're working with young people. Young people have things. And so that we're able to provide the resources necessary to stand behind the team and share with them ways to grow beyond some of the struggles of adolescence and youth. So it's really exciting. And one of the things as we move forward, mentoring is one of the only proven time in and time out ways that a child's life can change. It supports everything about our community. It supports not only the child, but the mentee. It supports our schools. It supports our literacy rates. It supports our cultural institutions. And so each of us giving that time to truly use that it takes a village mentality is not a lot to ask when you see the long-term benefits it has in our community.
I feel like if we had a mic, you should just drop the mic. Be like, end of show, wrap it up. That was perfect.
You know, I was a teacher for a really long time, and my students used to just wait for the mic.
I like that a lot. But too, I think we do have some businesses and organizations in our community who have really stepped up and offered time for their employees to be able to do either the school-based mentoring or whichever program they choose. But that's important. That, for an employer to say, we believe in this enough that we're going to offer the time to you, that's huge.
Exactly. When we look at our school districts and our counties, I mean, we're the Sheriff's Department, the Fort Pierce Police Department, everybody is willing to step in. And it's creating an environment that allows that interaction to be seamless, because what we know is everybody has busy lives. And certainly our larger agencies like police departments and businesses, we have things to do. But if we can create a seamless environment that's welcoming to the mentors, and really walks them through the process, then what happens is more and more and more employees will want to get involved.
And so, you had mentioned, and I'm glad you did it, like, it's not like, congratulations, you're a big brother, here's your child, we randomly selected him, here you go, check back with us in 12 months, stay safe. That's not how it works.
No.
So if somebody were to call, and the number is 466-8535?
Yes.
Well done, right?
Very good.
Called that number a few times, 466-8535. If they were to call and they want to become a mentor, because it's not like, because you are dealing with children, it's not like, it's just sign here, here's your child. There is a process. So just so that everybody is fully aware, just briefly take us through that process.
Okay, and sometimes, so I want to first jump on the fact that briefly, sometimes the process isn't brief, because what we want to do is be very thorough. Children's safety is always our number one ideal. That is the number one focus of our agency. And so what we want to do is make sure that both for the mentor and the child, everyone is safe. And so we do extreme background checks. And we partner you with a match support specialist who does interviewing. The child is interviewed, a child's parents are interviewed, or guardians are interviewed. And then they go through an extensive process of getting to know personality traits, who matches who. And, if you were to pair me with a complete introvert when I was a child, that person would not have known what to do because I go all the time. But it's about a matchmaking process that's rooted in child safety and processes of child safety that are nationally renowned.
That's good to know. Because I know that's sometimes what we hear, particularly in regards to the reading matches. They're like, it's, the process didn't happen yesterday. And we're like,
Right.
and we're like, well, yeah, because to your point,
It's a
the safety of
child.
everybody involved is first and foremost, and there is a process.
Right.
Yeah.
And two, the goal is to have a long-term, fulfilling relationship
Right. Yes.
between those two people, the big and the little. And if it's not the right fit, if the child is unhappy or,
Yeah.
kids are smart
Yeah.
and
Right.
they
Right.
pick up on a lot of things. And, if it's not the right fit, then that process gets interrupted.
And our goal is not to do more damage. I mean, that as a teacher, I really believe that consistency is the key to success for children. And consistency in your rules, consistency in your behaviors, consistency in the way that you talk, walk, everything. When children can recognize consistency, they trust it. And we need to ensure that we're building a consistent relationship and not just somebody that's going to pop into their lives and then disappear. We don't want to be the disappearing act. We want to be the long-term sustainable relationship.
And one of our taglines for National Mentor Month right now is, it's not just a year, it's a lifetime. So the impact is more than a year. It's a lifetime for that child and the experiences that they will be experiencing with a mentor.
We've known several mentors. Some of our board members have been mentors, and I'm immediately thinking of Vern Melvin, who just retired, and he, all these years later, is still in contact with
absolutely.
his child, who's now 30-something.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
But it is a lifetime relationship, which is outstanding. Now, we've talked a lot about, and we said everybody's New Year's resolution to become a mentor by calling 466-8535. But let's kind of flip it as if a parent is wanting a big brother for their child. Do they just call? How does that process work?
It is a very similar process. So the parent would call. We set you up with the match support specialist who does an initial interview, an intake interview, to really understand your needs and your child's needs. Is there a specific area that you'd like them to focus on? We know literacy is very big and very important right now. So what we want to do is if a parent says, I want my child to really work on reading, then that's what we focus on. I want my child to work on sports. I want my child to have a strong male role model. Then what we do is try to match to what the parent wants, and that the parent is an active participant in this, not a passive advisor, that the parent is an integral part of the success of that relationship.
Very cool.
That's good to know. Again, so you guys are new to the program, but if we don't give out your number at least 5 times, we have failed everybody. So the number again is 772-466-8535. And again, if you want to be involved in our community, and that's really this whole point of this radio show. And when you said we don't want people to be passive, we say that all the time.
We say that all the time.
You can sit and be passive in this radio program, be a little entertained, laugh with us, but that's not the point of it. The point of it is to get connected and find ways that speak to you so that you can plug in and make a difference in our community. And this is a great way, only at the minimum 4 hours a month. I mean, I spend 4 hours on YouTube a month exploring different stuff. So there's no excuse.
I know, I was just going to say, that was an admission.
I know. Well, you're like, what's that one song? And the next thing you know. So again, 466-8535 to get involved. Now you guys, and I say you guys, big brothers, big sisters, you kind of like totally changed your, we
Speaking
talked
of
about
new.
we talked about 2019, how we're going to have a new look, but you guys have done that already.
Yes,
So tell us about it.
absolutely. We rolled out a new brand as of October 1st this year. And it's not just changing our logo, it's kind of creating the urgency and getting the awareness out there for the need of volunteers and mentors. So we have this cool new look. It's a big B with a bunch of kind of geographic colors and shapes. It's very bold, very bright. So it's been great for us. I think as we kind of go into the new year, we're changing our office around, and we're kind of getting into the swing of that brand in the office as well. So, yeah.
I like that you say that it's not just like a new look; it's a whole new sort of push behind
Yes,
everything.
absolutely.
Yes.
I like that.
It's one of the things that that excites me about the new brand is the way that it speaks boldly. It is not a soft brand. The work that we do, it seems warm and fuzzy and soft, but this is not. This is
Big.
Yeah.
big commitment. And so the tagline, we have, different words that we're using, igniting and inspiring, but the word that I'm most attracted to is defending. It's defending potential. And so our team shirts, we just had the new team shirts made, and they're black long sleeve shirts, and on one arm in the bright green it says defending, and on the other arm it says potential. And yesterday we had a staff retreat where everybody stood there with their
Oh, nice.
defenders
Yeah.
of potential. And
That's
when
like superhero
I was
stuff.
just gonna say,
It's hard to miss. I mean, people have come up to me in the gym and said, "What is your shirt? It's so cool."
but that really speaks to what you're doing. You're defending the potential of our future. And so yes, now on pretty much everything I post, everything I say, I'm like defenders of potential. Because that's what it is.
We're not asking them to become mentors. We're
They're
asking them to become
superheroes.
one of the Avengers
You get
on
to be a
behalf of our
superhero.
children. Yes.
I like that a lot.
So talk to me about, so obviously I've been giving out your phone number, but now everyone's like, I want to check out the new look. So
Yes.
how can they check out the new look?
They can go to our website at bbbsbigs.org. Lots of B's. So again, that's bbbsbigs.org.
And you guys are also on Facebook.
Yes, we're
Yes.
on Facebook and Instagram as well as LinkedIn.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know, you guys have a lot of community events that happen throughout the year, different times. Anything coming up soon that we need to know about?
Yes, we actually have our golf tournament on February 4th in Indian River at the Hawk's Nest, the moorings at Hawk's Nest. And then coming in April 24th, we have our Taste of St. Lucie.
It's my favorite
So,
event
yeah.
ever of all time.
Yes.
It used to be in March, and it was always around my birthday, and I would force everyone to go for my birthday. I'm
Will you
okay
force
with
everyone to
moving.
go even if it's
I will
not your
still
birthday?
make everyone go. It's our favorite event.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
But it's a really good one. So if you're not familiar with that, pay attention, because Taste of St. Lucie is the place to be.
If you like helping out the community and
And
you like
food.
eating, win-win.
Right, absolutely.
Good, very good. So we'll make sure that we continue to share information this whole month about National Mentoring Month, but also about events coming up as they come down the pike, especially Taste of St. Lucie, because that's my favorite one. Anything else? We've got about a minute left before we wrap up. Anything else you guys want to mention?
Well, I think as we enter the new year and we think about defending potential, I really want that to stick with the audience, that what that means. To be a defender of potential, and all of the implications of that on our community, on our economy, on our quality of life. How many ways does that matter in your daily life? And so when you ask yourself if mentoring really is your resolution for 2019, ask yourself if you're ready to defend the potential not only of this one child, but of your whole community.
But
Okay.
two mic drops.
I don't think we
We're
can
just turning
close.
this show over. Yeah, I don't even know.
So what are you doing next week?
But again, become a defender of potential, an avenger, if you will, but really a mentor by calling Big Brothers Big Sisters at 466-8535 or check out their website at bbbsbigs.org, or by all means go on Facebook. Their logo is awesome and we love that slogan, defending
Yes.
potential.
Thank you.
Defenders of potential. All right, that is our radio and TV show. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, a weekly radio program on 104.5 The Flame. And remember, it's our children, our community, our future. We're all in this together. We'll see you next time.